Affairs. And in today's class, we're going to deal with a very exciting and interesting development which has happened right near the India's neighborhood with our dear friend nation, our Pakistan nation, where, as you know, a few years back, just 2 years back, India has conducted the famous Uri surgical strikes, okay, in response to the Pathankot attack on India. Okay, even the Balakot strikes which we had done on Pakistan. So that sort of surgical strikes, which was part of our cold start doctrine, has been conducted regularly by India, I would say. But Iran has taken the world aback by this news coming up that a surgical strike has been taken up in Pakistan. So let's know all about it in today's class. Let's see, is it true, or what are the implications of it, and what are the details of the strike, and what basically is the relation between India and Iran. Okay, from the whole discussion, actually, we don't have to get into the more of the geopolitics of what is a surgical strike, how it happened, because it's not part of India and its world. And for our UPSC examination and for the competitive examinations, we have to learn the relevance of India-centric affairs. So I'll try to link it with India-centric affairs. Actually, the terrorist organization which was targeted here also has some India link. So I'll be telling you all about that in today's class. So this is me, B. Teja Sai. You can see me. You can follow me on Gradeup. You can go to the Gradeup app. You can press my image here, and there is a follow button. So whenever my class is about to go online, you'll be getting a reminder and you can join the class. So as you're aware, the state of international affairs, we've just completed 1 month of it. So every day we'll be taking up sessions which are most important from the daily current affairs, which are relevant for the UPSC examination, or if you're preparing for UGC NET examination, wherever political science and international relations is involved, if your optional is PSIR. So for all of you, this is a very important session. Yeah, good afternoon, Abad. Good afternoon, Tabassum. Good afternoon, Monica, Vishaka. Good afternoon, everyone. So let's begin today's class. And before we begin, I just wanted to tell you that from today, the February Mela May, we have a new edition. We have the double validity at 50% off. So you'll be getting double validity of the Gradeup Super which you're taking. If you're taking for the 3-month course or 9-month course or 18-month course, you'll be getting double validity of that. And it's also at 50% off. Okay, the same Feb 50 code, or actually without the code, you can see the costs. So this sort of double dhamaka for you, you'll be getting double the validity and also at 50% off. So whoever's interested, please talk to our counselors here. This is a best chance for you to join the Gradeup Super subscription. About the Gradeup Super subscription, I'll tell you towards the end of the class. So Iran has carried out Pakistan's surgical strike in Pakistan's territory. What exactly do you understand by a surgical strike? Can somebody tell me what exactly is it a surgical strike is? We heard so much in India. We have seen movies on, the movie Uri and different movies. It's become such a fashion quoting surgical strikes in India. Can somebody tell me what exactly do you understand by a surgical strike? Anyone? Precise counter attack. Gokul is saying precise counter attack. Okay, that's a very good sort of definition actually. It's actually, but the term counter attack may or may not be true always. But yeah, of course, in most of situations, you can take it. Okay, I'll take it from what you have told. It's a precise counter attack. The word I'm impressed with most here is the term precise. So these are the types of attacks which are made, which are to preclude a full blown out war. That is, generally if there are growing tensions, when the diplomacy cannot work, or when the news agencies or when the international pressures cannot work, we have the full blown wars. Like India and Pakistan, we have had 3 proper full blown wars. But other than those, we do have border ceasefires. We do have, border transgressions and other small things. Now, this surgical strike is something which is targeted at a precise location, and the army or the military or the, special forces like India's para-commando forces, they are sent. In this case of Iran surgical strike, the IRGC was sent. It need not be the full-blown army, the soldiers, the battalion need not be sent. A precise, just a small team enters into the enemy territory and they carry out the attack. And it's usually with a proper target in mind, to extract something, to extract some people, or for the revenge attacks. And there is obviously no a declaration. For a war, we have a war declaration when a war begins. Here, there is no declaration. Okay. And I would say this is part of, we are not discussing India's here, but India also, we have something called as a cold start doctrine. Okay. This was there even before. Even before, I would say 2014, this cold start doctrine was there. Though, of course, our Indian Army has never formally acknowledged that we have a cold start doctrine, but from many sources and many defense experts and international thinkers, India does have a sort of cold start doctrine. And this surgical strike is something like cold start doctrine 2.0. Okay, yes, Sujit Kumar, targeting a particular camp of terrorists and that alone, and they return back. Yes. Okay, obviously it has to be clandestine. In a war, we have a declaration. In the surgical strike, there is no prior declaration here. So here I wanted to quote that the news which we are seeing is from an official statement on something called as Anadolu Agency. I don't know, is it the correct pronunciation or not? It's an Iranian agency. It is like the official mouthpiece of the government of Iran. Okay, so they have mentioned it. Pakistan has not told anything. This is a representative image. Okay, this is not the actual strike which happened. This is a representative image. Pakistan has severely downplayed it. Pakistan has told there is no proper attack which took place. The IRGC has come up. They have talked to us and we have sent 2 kidnapped border guards. They have severely downplaying it. I was trying to search a lot of Pakistan websites, but nowhere I found, this impactful statements which are made. This Anadolu Agency, which is the Iranian report, it has quoted that this sort of surgical strike has been made on Pakistan. So let's get into the meat of it. It was carried out by the Iran's elite revolutionary guards. Okay, this is like a special forces. Like in India, we have the para commando special forces who wear the purple cap, who had even undertaken the surgical strikes after the Uri attack. So that sort of their special forces were involved. So they have freed 2 soldiers among the 12 soldiers kidnapped in 2018. Okay, Anadolu Agency, as we're saying, it has reported. This is from Anadolu Agency's website actually. So the main crux of the matter is, as you know, Iran and Pakistan, Iran shares major borders with, the Middle East, the Central Asian, and among the South Asia. So it is a sort of link, Iran. That's why it's very important in our Middle East policy also. So there is a long border between Iran and Pakistan. And this is the region which is Balochistan. I hope you know of Balochistan. We'll discuss about Balochistan and the issues in another class, in a separate class. And this Balochistan province, obviously the people also stay here. Okay, like how we have, if we see the Kashmir, the Gilgit-Baltistan region of Kashmir. Okay, the Gilgit-Baltistan region just to the left of Kashmir region in Pakistan, the people are very similar. Okay, you find a lot of Kashmiris on either side of the border. So in the similar way, the Balochistan province is also prominently there in Iran also. And the terrorist organization is Jaish-ul-Adl. Jaish-ul-Adl, they have kidnapped 12 IRGC guards in 2018 itself. Okay, in the city of Markava in Sistan and Balochistan province. Okay, this is your Sistan and Balochistan province. So what is this Jaish-ul-Adl? They are basically defending the rights of Baloch Sunnis in Iran. Okay, that is their primary aim. As you know, Iran is a Shia majority country. So Sunnis are sort of minority in Iran. So to protect the rights of Baloch Sunnis, this terrorist organization was formed, Jaish-ul-Adl. And interestingly, Pakistan does not even declare Jaish-ul-Adl as a terrorist organization. And 5 of the 12 soldiers were released in 2018. And Pakistan Army rescued 4 in 2019. So all of this were done. So 5 and 4, 9 were already rescued. Now 2 are done. Other 1 person is remaining. So we don't know if he's dead or alive. So now Iran has just rescued 2 of the IRGC soldiers. Okay. And they are waging an armed struggle against the Iranian government. Just like how we have the Jaish-e-Mohammed or LET, which is operating in India or which carries out attacks in India, supposedly to protect the right of Kashmiris, supposedly, purportedly, that is their facts. Though India, we are a secular country, they feel that sort of terrorist organization, they feel against India. So similarly, this Jaish-ul-Adl also is against Iran and they want to defend the rights of the Baloch Sunnis in Iran. Okay, ये fact सबको समझ आया? This is the crux of the matter. You have to remember, Jaish-ul-Adl, they are the Baloch Sunni group. And definitely it's a terrorist group. It has been declared by Iran, and their website and the way of functioning, you can definitely hold it as a Salafi militant outfit. Okay, it is linked from another outfit, Jundullah group, which was there before, but Jundullah group had diluted. And this Jaish-ul-Adl is carrying out the fight against Iranian security forces by bombs, attacks, kidnapping of Iranian soldiers, and so on. Okay, and they have also claimed the deadly bombings on the Sistan-Balochistan region, which happened in 2019. That is the Indian link which I was trying to tell. On 13th February 2019, a suicide car bomb, it killed 27 members of the IRGC. This was a huge issue. This was prominently covered in news in 2019, and it was between the cities of Zahedan and Kash, again in the Sistan-Balochistan province. Okay, but the interesting link which I had found, that this suicide bombing was carried out just one day prior to the Pulwama attack. Okay, is it a coincidence? The Jaish-ul-Adl, they had carried out the suicide car bombing where they had killed 27 members, 27 IRGC members on 13th February. And in India, the Pulwama attack, after which we had the Balakot attack and Captain Abhinandan was captured. You know the whole story of Pulwama attack. That was on 14th February. Okay, that's why, Pakistan were sharing proudly that this is a Valentine's gift for you and all that nonsense. So I believe, or I don't know if I can say that, but just informally, I just want to tell you that both of them could be linked. Both of these attacks, the one which happened on 13th February and 14th February, yeah, there might have been some big meeting of the JEM, LET, Jaish-ul-Adl and all other deep state. Deep state is a terrorist organization which are operating in Pakistan. So ye sab milke, they must have had a proper common central meeting and they had carried out this suicide car bomb. This was prominently covered. Just like how the Pulwama attack was covered in India and how India responded with the Balakot strikes, this was also prominently covered. And the next day, they had followed it up with the Pulwama attack. So there is an uncanny similarity in their modus operandi. So the crux of the matter I want to tell you is terrorism, okay, is definitely a cross-border affair. I'll be telling you the significance of India-Iran relations. There also, terrorism is a major factor of mutual issue for both India and Iran. Okay, and this is emanating from Pakistan, be it Jaish-ul-Adl, be it JEM, be it LET, or be it any other of these militant groups. Fine, this analysis I hope you understood. Definitely don't write this in your answers, but if you can indirectly tell it, even for your interview or your understanding, these are all world affairs. World affairs are not something which are tangible. This is the type of thing which are informally, which have to be discussed. So I wouldn't advise you can write it in your answers that Jaish-ul-Adl is related to the Indian attack, but definitely you can find a common thread of terrorism which is affecting whole of South Asia. And I would definitely strongly word it that Pakistan is acting as a core of this terrorism. Okay, our Prime Minister Narendra Modi had told that Pakistan is the mothership of terrorism. So this only adds credence to those claims. Fine. And this is one more reason to add Pakistan to the blacklist of FATF. Okay, I hope you know the FATF list, FATF terrorism list. Presently, Pakistan is under which list? Can anybody tell me? Whenever you're writing about the role of terrorism in Pakistan and all, you need to connect these dots. when you connect Jaishaladal, when you connect the Pulwama bombing attack, when you connect, even the recent Israel envoy attack, Israel embassy attack, all of these are boarded from this areas. Yes, the grey list. Presently, the Pakistan is in grey list. And if you can have this sort of analysis in your PSIR optional, I would definitely tell you that you'll get the maximum marks. Okay, the examiner also will send you a proper appreciation letter for connecting these dots. These are all deep IR affairs. Okay, so now let us see the GS part of it, the significance of India-Iran relations. The most important factor, I would say, generally people say connectivity, but I would beg to differ. The most important factor for us is the energy security. Okay, Iran is the third largest supplier of crude to India. Which is the first largest supplier of crude to India? Anyone? Please tell me in the comments below. And it has the world's second largest reserves of natural gas. Okay, because I'm saying this because Chabahar port is prominently not covered recently. Of late, there is a lot of delay in Chabahar port, and India is trying for other avenues of connectivity, and Iran is getting close to China also. I'll tell you in the coming slides. But energy is something where India will always be dependent on this Middle East and Iran. For example, India, we have 83% dependency of crude oil. Do you know this? 83% we are dependent on the crude oil. Iraq, nobody has told. Iraq is the largest supplier of crude to India. We get the maximum supply of crude from Iraq. Okay. Bahrain, it seems. No, all those are natural gas. For natural gas, you have smaller countries like Oman, Kuwait, other smaller countries, they help you in natural gas. Fine. Next, obviously important is connectivity. So Chabahar port, as I was saying, it is important for the connectivity. It can link to Kandla port or Mumbai port of India. And importantly, from here, it connects Zahedan, and from Zahedan, there is a Zaranj Delaram road, okay, which is the central road of Afghanistan. Okay, it is like a big national highway of Afghanistan, the Zaranj Delaram road. Okay, there is actually a Garland road also. It's a part of the Garland road. So Chabahar port is important for connecting Afghanistan because here we have our dear friend Pakistan who doesn't allow us to supply to Afghanistan. So that's why Chabahar could have been a good connectivity port. Okay, India is constructing a 560 long railway line linking the Iranian port with Hajigak in southern Afghanistan. It is close to the Zaranj Delaram highway. And also there's something called as INSTC, your International North-South Transport Corridor, which links even the Central Asia and it links the Europe, the INSTC. So through Chabahar, we can link Afghanistan and we can also link the INSTC. Okay, but there are severe delays. Somehow, I've been studying of Chabahar for the last 6 years. Since 2014, we are studying about Chabahar, but nothing solid has been coming up. Mainly because of the Chinese influence, I'll tell you. Fine. Similarly, the trade and investment discussions are on to exploit the Farzad B gas field. Okay, this is another important gas field in Iran for the natural gas. And similarly, there we are also pursuing the Iran-Pakistan-India pipeline, gas pipeline. But this also has been a sort of dream, mainly because of Pakistan. This also has not been able to kickstart. So all these economic ones like connectivity, trade and investment, though of course Farzad B gas field, we are trying to get it out fast, but other ones are not being fast-tracked. And importantly, another major factor is Iran is a big market for India's agro products, software services, automobiles, petrochemicals, and so on. And Tehran is also offering New Delhi favorable terms like non-dollar oil sales. Okay, so the crude oil which they're selling, they even accept the non-dollar. So that helps us save the precious foreign currency. Can somebody tell me which bank is involved here? There is a famous bank which handles this non-dollar oil sales with Iran. Does anybody know that? Please let me know. I just want to know if anybody knows this deep knowledge. And also India wants to become a net security provider in the Indian Ocean region. Right from here, Indian Ocean region, the Oman Strait to the Red Sea to the African. So actually you can write this point for all the countries of Africa or Middle East or Southeast Asia. We want to protect the Indian Ocean and Indian Ocean diplomacy. And Iran is also important in countering the string of pearls expansion. We have discussed this string of pearls expansion. I think we discussed in Southeast Asia, or in Singapore we have discussed the South China Sea dispute. So Iran can be important for us for countering the string of pearls expansion. Not Asian Development Bank, UCO Bank. Okay, UCO Bank is handling, its headquarters is in Delhi itself, it's handling this Iran oil sales, and Iran accepts even non-dollar oil sales from India. And lastly, the most important, as I was saying, it's an important player in fighting the global terror groups like Al-Qaeda, ISIS, Taliban, among others. Now you must be thinking, that Iran also, allegedly it funds terrorism in Yemen, in the Yemen conflict, in the Houthi rebels and all that. Okay, wherever there is a Shia forces, Iran is allegedly it funds. But if you're talking of Pakistan, if you're talking of larger Saudi or Middle East policy, Iran is definitely on our side for the counter-terrorism. जो भी Iran और Saudi के बीच में, that is their issue. We don't have to get in there. But for India, Iran is definitely a major factor in counter-terrorism efforts. For example, this line that Iran is important in fighting global terror groups, if somebody from Saudi Arabia would read it, he would be blinded. He would be extremely shocked that how are you telling Iran would help us in global terror groups? But for India, it is important. Fine. And Iran can also play a major role in other crimes like drug trafficking, arms dealing, and so on, because this is the major belt from the Somalia pirates, and from Africa. This is where the drug routes and all go on. Okay, the Golden Crescent passes through Iran. So for that, it's important. Fine. So roughly, please always remember energy and market. They are the most important. And in energy, they allow us non-dollar oil sales. And connectivity to, Chabahar port, and of course your Zaranj Dilaram, and some other like your IPI, Farzadbi gas fields. But I wouldn't say they're major points because presently they're on the back burner. And it's important for countering China and also the counter-terrorism. This whole class, the gist of today's class is this point. In our fight against terror, we can join hands with Iran, because we have also conducted this surgical strikes against the Pakistani terrorist groups. So Iran also has conducted it. So, what do you say? Dushman ka dushman dost hota hai. Something like that can happen between India and Iran. I'm sorry, I'm going very informal in today's class, but this topic is like that. This topic, if I can't tell you these informal talks, you won't get the bigger picture. Okay, and the last part is the Chinese factor. Chinese factor, wherever we read any country in our South Asia or your Middle East, this has to be there. The Chinese factor. Their Belt and Road Initiative mein China is aggressively trying to tie with Iran. With Iran, Saudi Arabia, UAE, Egypt, Middle East, all these countries. They're trying to build railways, the industrial parks, 5G highways, clean energy project, all of this. As you know, Belt and Road Initiative mein we have the One Belt, One Road. We don't have. The Chinese have their One Belt, One Road and the Maritime Silk Road. OBOR and the Maritime Silk Road. We'll discuss about the BRA whenever it comes in news. I'm waiting for it to come in news. I'll give you a proper comprehensive analysis. And both of these components, they pass through Iran. And in Iran and China, they have agreed for a 25-year comprehensive strategic cooperation recently in 2019. So this allocates $400 billion for Iran's transport, manufacturing sector, and so on, where the Chinese companies, their equipment and workers can come to Iran. So just like how China is developing the Gwadar port, can somebody tell me the China and Pakistan ke beech mein kaun sa hai? Pakistan and China. What is the major project between Pakistan and China? I'm sure all of you would be knowing this. So this sort of, as part of the One Belt, One Road itself, they're linking all through the Middle East, the Middle East, and it goes up till Europe actually. From Europe, Iran, Pakistan to China. The whole thing is part of it. And they have signed a 25-year comprehensive strategic partnership. Actually, all through the last 3 years, our focus has been more to study India, China, India, Pakistan, China, Pakistan, India, Iran, China, Iran. But somehow we missed, or a lot of people missed, this Iran-Pakistan link. So from this surgical strike, the whole story is complete. Fine? Yes, this CPEC. No, Srikutan, not RCEP. Please don't say RCEP. It's a completely different thing. The China-Pakistan Economic Corridor, which passes through the Gilgit-Baltistan region. That is why India is also against it. And one more important thing is, the Chinese, they're developing a Bandar-e-Jask port. Okay, so Iran is saying this Bandar-e-Jask. See, the Bandar-e-Jask port is here, and the Chabahar port is here, and the Gwadar port is here in Pakistan. So Iran is saying, let's link Chabahar and Gwadar. Though, of course, with this surgical strike, I don't know how feasible that would be. And they're also offering this Bandar-e-Jask, which is just 350 kilometers from Chabahar. So this Chabahar, they've purportedly given to India, and they're trying to give this Bandar-e-Jask port to China. Even though they're giving or not, or China is aggressively pursuing or not, it is in their interest. The Bandar-e-Jask. Yes, let me just zoom the map. Okay, nothing much actually. It is just on this near the Gulf of Oman. The Bandar-e-Jask port is there, and here we have the Chabahar, and here the Gwadar. Okay, traditionally we read only of Chabahar and Gwadar. Chabahar is just 120 kilometers from Gwadar actually. Now this new thing has come, Bandar-e-Jask, and see how Iran is playing with all of us. Iran is giving the Bandar-e-Jask to China. They have given the Chabahar to India. Now they're saying they link Chabahar and Gwadar. So Pakistan also will be interested in this. Fine. So that is the whole discussion of Iran. And I would just say that Iran is going to be definitely a major sort of player in the, not only in Middle East, but even in the world politics. Because, abhi Trump ka zamana nahi hai. When Trump was in power, he had famously imposed the JCPOA, the sanctions on Iran, and he had come out of the JCPOA, which was done between Barack Obama and Iran. But presently, with the Joe Biden's presidency, we are seeing a lot of positive sort of signals where these sanctions on Iran can be lifted and the JCPOA can be again taken up between USA and Iran. So Iran ke achhe din aane wale hain. Okay, in terms of the global politics. So whatever Iran is going to do, not only in the Pakistan or in this area, but whatever their domestic and international policy is going to be very important for our IR. Okay, so this is just a beginning. I'm sure we are going to read many more important developments related to Iran. Okay, friends. So I hope you like the class. And for people who are watching on YouTube, please download the Gradeup app. On the Gradeup app, you can see the classes here. On an hourly interval, we have the classes. Like this class, I'll be taking up every day at 2 p.m. the State of International Affairs class from Monday to Friday, where these events will be taking up from the news headlines or the most important international affairs, and I'll be connecting them to UPSC, your both GS and PSIR, for the state PCS, and also for the UGC net. Okay, so for all of this, this would be a one-stop solution for all your international level or international relations news. Okay, and again, I wanted to remind you that we are having the double validity as part of the February Mela. So if you're taking the 3 months course, you'll be getting another 3 months to it. If you're taking the 9 months, you'll get another 9 months to it. And all of it is at 50% off. So please log into the Gradeup app, just look into this offer. This is a once in a preparation sort of offer. And please speak to our counselors if you're interested in Gradeup Super. I hope you know what is Gradeup Super. It gives you complete access to all the running and upcoming courses for UPSC CSE and EPFO exams. So there is no need of different courses for different subjects, no headache, no confusion. Just one subscription, you'll get access to all the courses of Gradeup. And we have the best experienced faculty who keep coming on the free classes. You must be seeing us. Like I, for one, teach the science and technology and IR in Gradeup. These are sort of demo classes for you to understand how the Gradeup classes work. Okay. And you'll also be getting access to mock tests and sectional tests for revision. And to speak to our counselors, please call on this number. Ghulam Muhammad, if you're having financial crunches, please speak, because we also have the EMI scheme. So rather than paying just at one bulk, you can also pay an EMI scheme. But I see Ghulam Muhammad, you're already a Gradeup Super student, so that's fine. And please like, comment and share this video. Please keep this series thriving so that I can get in more content with more enriched content, more background for you to practice. And download the Gradeup app, practice the topic-wise quizzes, and keep attending the live classes. Okay. So thank you so much, people. Let's meet tomorrow, again, same time, 2 p.m. Subhashri, we are going to launch the option classes very soon. They're going to come up. Okay. Bye. All the best. Let's meet tomorrow, 2 p.m. Take care.